Hello, Blitz fans of all ages, it's me, PlumCastle, and today we're going to be taking a look at another event that popped into World of Tanks Blitz. Now, if you've been around for a while and you've seen those Black Friday events, keep in mind this is going to be very similar, so unfortunately it's like all pay to win here, but I'll still talk about it anyway because it's at least worth noting. So to get to the particular event, what you're going to want to do is back out all the way to your garage just like this, and then you're going to click on the Season 4 Anniversary or the Contraband event, depending on which one it's on, because it will cycle between the two. But just in case you did land on Anniversary to find the Contraband event, which is the name of this particular event, you just want to go to the left-hand side, and there will be two options, and you just want to click the bottom one. So this is what it looks like. Like I said, very similar to Black Friday events, basically the way that we're going to be able to get through this event or to get certain rewards, because it's kind of pick and choose. It's not really a line of rewards like a lot of them. But basically we're going to need these coupons, and to get coupons you're going to need to buy bundles in the store, and we'll take a look at the bundles in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the rewards. So first of all, actually, it lasts for 7 days, assuming that you start at the beginning. Although, given that it's just based on paying money, it really doesn't matter how long it goes for, so long as you buy something within that window to get these. So the profile background is interesting. I'm not sure. I think it's a very interesting profile background, and I would say that's decent looking. I'm not sure. I really like the fact that the coupons are floating around in it, but still, interesting background. There are also a camouflage, which kind of matches the garage, at least for the time being. Alphabet, what is it? Par excellence. Interesting camouflage. 55 coupons. We'll have to see how much that costs in just a minute. An avatar, a container, and this is a grand surprise container. And let's take a look at what's in here. More containers. So it is a container of containers, and inside here, okay, so these are like tank containers. So like a percent. So I'm assuming this would be a percent chance for a specific crate, which will then have a percent chance of a tank, which is actually not too bad. 20%. Yeah, well, obviously this is a pay-to-win event, so the chances are going to be a little bit better for you. And then we have the Contraband container itself, and in here is a bunch of different tanks. So there's a 100% chance that you'll get a tank. It just depends on which one that you'll get. That's the chance. Beyond that, there's also this container. It looks like it's a BZ58-2 container. So this is, again, a container for a specific tank. And it is a 1% drop chance, which, yeah, this is fairly low. That might even be a new tank. I'm not sure. If it's not, I'm not sure if it is. It's been a while since I've looked at the new tanks coming into the game. But yeah, at 300 coupons, that's definitely a bit expensive for a 1% chance. A collectible container. Now, I should note some of these have caps on these, so you'll notice like 10 left for me. You have a limit of 10 on some of them. The background would naturally be a limit of 1. The camouflage, or not the camouflage, sorry, the avatar would obviously be 1. But anyway, moving back to the collectible container, these containers tend to be pretty decent for what they are. They're usually not like ridiculously expensive. As you can see, there's a chance for a tank. Overall, it is like a 5% chance for a tank, I believe. Let's see if it states it right here. May contain, yeah, I believe it's just like a 5% chance of getting a tank, and I have a few of the ones in here already. But yeah, basically it's a big long list of tanks that you have a 5% chance of getting one of them, which I might have gotten a tank before, I don't quite remember, but mostly it's just going to be filler garbage. But as containers go, these ones aren't like the worst. Then there are these, which are the screens, which are the event items that you can actually use for this event right here, the anniversary event. So that's what that's for. Free XP, that's like fairly core part of the game. And then we have this container, the mega container. Now inside here we have more tanks. I don't know why there needed to be such a variety of different containers, but there is. In here we have what essentially looks to be the same exact thing as a collect 'em all container, but maybe with more tanks and some other better stuff in it. Let's look at the price difference. Yeah, okay, it's more expensive. It's just basically a super collect 'em all container. And then after that, we have 10 times multipliers, and that's 5 of them. Really, unless you're on an XP grind, I'm not really sure it's all that beneficial to get one of these, but it's there and it exists. And then that takes us to the main part of this event. We have the 3 tanks, actually. The first one is the B-C Bourrasque. Pretty decent tank. My games in it are hit or miss, but it is pretty decent. And let's see if we can take a look. Yeah, well, that's what the tank looks like. It doesn't have a camouflage or anything. But let's take a look at the other tanks in here. So first is going to be the B-C Bourrasque, 500 coupons, and that's going to be the Charlemagne, 600 coupons, and then the BZ58-2. The BZ58-2 was the tank in that container that had a 1% drop chance, and it's like 800 coupons. So keep in mind that's not 800 overall, that's 500, and then it's 600, and then it's 800 just to get the BZ58-2, regardless of whether or not you even have these tanks already. So that these events, if you were to go all the way up, generally the way I look at these events, if you're like dying to get the tank the moment it comes out, then, I mean, I still wouldn't recommend it, but you could. Otherwise, it's just so much cheaper to wait until it like comes out a bit later, because so far I think all of them have. But yeah, these types of events are very expensive. Basically, it's just very expensive to get stuff early on. And now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the store to see what bundles have coupons in there. So let's see here. We have at the top, so we've got a list of tanks. I'll probably go over these in a different video at some point, maybe tomorrow, something like that. But as for, they have coupons in them. But you can see to find coupons, you just have to kind of sift through the store a bit here. This one, these cost coupons for some reason. But so like in these tank bundles, you'll see like 117. And these are the ones that if you have gold, you can spend and then you can exchange that. Yeah, more gold, 66. So you can see this alone is like only like a tenth, a little over a tenth of the B-C Bourrasque, first of all. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty expensive if you go this route. And again, I will go over these at some later point. But generally speaking, where you're gonna find the most are the gold bundles. So if you come down here, there we go, coupons inside. And because I've never spent $100 on this game at one time, there you go, 950 coupons. That's gonna get you one of the tanks. Let's see here, for 905, yeah, it's gonna get you the Bourrasque and like half of the Charlemagne. And then after this, another 750, and then after this, a 500. So all in all, if you were to get these 3 bundles, I believe that should be enough. So let's just pull out the quick calculator to make sure I am correct on that assumption. So 500 plus 600 plus 700, I think it was. No, it was 800. There we go. We're looking at 1,900. So if we're going to subtract the 950 from the $100, well, $110 bundle, and then we're going to subtract the 750, and then we're going to subtract that 500, negative 300. So if you were to buy these 3 most expensive bundles, so that's 100, so that would be $200 basically between these 2, not including tax or anything like that. So 200, what you'd be looking at is about $250, and you would get all 3 tanks plus a little bit extra, and 250. Let's just take a look at the tier of the tanks that we're getting here. So the B-C, it's a tier 8, pretty decent. The Charlemagne is a tier 8, and the BZ58-2 is a tier 9. That is $250 for 2 tier 8s and a tier 9, which I think generally speaking, tier 10s being 50. That would mean if these 3 were tier 10s and they were like each 50, that'll still only be 150. Needless to say, it's very, very expensive to get the tank. But, I mean, it is the way that the tank is available right now, unless you can get lucky and you go for the containers that it's in with a 1% drop chance. But anyway, that does cover the event. Generally speaking, I wouldn't really recommend trying to go for the end unless you're like really hard set on it. But as for everything else, basically, if you just buy gold or something, it might not hurt to exchange some of those currencies for this stuff in the event. But anyway, with that, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.